Next on the panel, we have Zethu Mududo, sorry, please correct me if I say your name wrong, is a member of the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, a revolutionary mass Pan-African organization advocating and fighting for the liberation and emancipation of African people, based in the territory referred to as South Africa and the southern region of the African continent. For the PAC, return of the land is the most fundamental question with the rise of Azania and Africa at large. The Pan-African Congress of Azania is revolting against white monopoly, settler colonialism, and advocating for the rise of Africa. You have the floor.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Again, my name is Zethu. Yeah, my name is Mududo, from the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, this PAC from South Africa, which is Azania. I'm here today to talk about emancipation of women is the precondition for the emancipation of men. I would like also to thank the panelists and to thank everyone who have partake in making this day a success, as we are still in the month of the in recognizing the women in international and in diaspora. So I would like to thank really for this. Okay, greetings, sons and daughters of the dispossessed African soil. It is a pleasure and honor to be part of this panel discussion today. I take this discussion as an opportunity to think solutions to our own problem. As Sobuka would say, nothing about us without us as women. So we need to partake in every struggle, because we cannot allow a situation whereby our problems as women are discussed in our absentia. Which means we need to take a center stage in the liberation struggle. When we speak of the emancipation of women being central to the struggle for the whole emancipation of humanity, I think of words of Thomas Sankara in Women's Liberation and African freedom, saying women, whatever her social rank, was crushed not only within her own class, but by other races too. This was the case even for women who belonged to the exploiting classes. He further explains how this was the case even in the context of a so-called liberated Africa in feudalist relation. In feudal society, women were kept in a state of absolute dependence of men, justified by references to women's supposed physically and psychologically weakness, often seen as a defiled object, a primary agent of indistinction. Women, with few rare exceptions, were kept out of places of worship. In a capitalist society, the woman already morally and socially persecuted is also subjected economically, kept by the man. If she does not work, even then she works herself to death, but it is still the case when it comes to women. This abstract here explains the constant positioning of women as tools of history, proving to be a material and social base of oppression and exploitation, and their liberation is a necessity to that of the humankind. The relegation of the human status of women to that of a subject exploited socially and economically, one existing as a servitude to a system of oppression and exploitation, but also a sexual object existing for only reasons of appeasement of men, constantly in need to be guarded, belonging to everyone but to herself. To liberate women is also to emancipate the male figure, being human again and affirming the humanity of another. As we fight with the world, we must be at constant war with the self and everything that stagnates the development of our humanness. The oppression of women is entrenched to that of mankind. You can never speak of the liberation of women in isolation to that of patriarchy, capitalism, imperialism, and colonialism. Women shall be emancipated with mankind when all forms of domination cease to exist. In the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, we have always wanted to solve the problem created by oppression and exploitation which detaches men from men and the environment in which they live. We have always understood that our struggle must be rooted in the need to yearn to solve the question of how men shall live together in peace, harmony with one another. In a world where women are unable to own land as resources for their benefits within an already dispossessed landlessness society, it is important that we fight not only for the ownership of land of women, but for that of all of the indigenous African people, but also crush the primitive cultural norms that seek to place in doubt the significance of women in society. So it is very important we as women to understand our role in the society and to take a center stage in the struggle, because in order for the whole Africa to be liberated, women must be liberated. And as we can note that women are oppressed culturally before they are oppressed economically, socially. You are oppressed because of you are representing a certain gender, you are a female. There are certain positions whereby you cannot view your voice because of your gender. And again, you are oppressed because you're an African child. Your land was dispossessed to you. You cannot breathe as a woman. So it's very important for us as women to understand our role in the struggle, that we are not only fighting for the empowerment of women, men as humankind must be liberated too. And our struggle should not be a male hatred movement, but it should be a movement that is going to liberate the whole Africa, because we have a common goal. We want Africa to be liberated as a whole, not women, not male, but a humankind. A man in a form of a humankind must be liberated. So as I close, I would like to put this to women who are here, that I also wish that as women we can understand our role in the struggle, and starting from today we can start practicing that. We can involve ourselves, because in order for the whole nation to be liberated, it needs us. If we can be head of our homes, do home chores, take care of our children, raise our children, what is stopping us as women then to run the country, to lead the whole Africa and the whole nation? It is up to us to change the mindset of the society. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Zethu. I'm really struck by the continuity of the comments between Zethu and Takia's focus on both our relationship to land and our relationship to our own bodies. And I really want to just bring out Zethu's comments about thinking about the sort of communal nature of our struggle, and uplift the point that she makes about our struggles for women's emancipation are not just about women's emancipation, but they are actually about the emancipation of our people. And it is impossible to do so without the emancipation of men. And so men must also understand the ways in which they are oppressed under these existing structures, right? Even by gender, right? Even by particular constructs of gender that tell them what masculinity looks like.